You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.
Welcome to Unang Bato sa 8th Free Life. This is the first event of our New Life 8 Awareness Project.
We should understand that behavior is a developmental history, has a developmental history. And we should accept that aggression, anger, hostility, drug addiction, suicide, they are symptoms and not causes, and not causes driven by traumatic stress.
I found a way home.
If there's one person, sana, kahit isa lang, to be involved with another kid na malilitis natin from this. As helpers, we should be more more interested in building the best things in life than repairing the worst. Hindi ba?
On the way home. So I'm coming home to you. You're all I need, the very air I breathe. You are home.
Young, good talent. Young to have believe that way. That is what we want to inspire all people today. Yung makialam, to believe, not for us, but for the future generation. There's always hope.
Ayan, live na tayo. So, maraming salamat. Magandang gabi sa ating lahat. Meron ba ako kasama? Ayun, kasama ko syempre si Coach Shin. Yan, kala ko wala tayong kasama ngayon eh. So, magandang ano ba dyan? Magandang gabi, Coach Sheena. So, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is men and women and shame. And again, kagaya nung last time na ginawa natin, i-discuss natin ng iba't ibang ano ba to? Experiences ng bawat gender, karamihan sa mga gender based sa research ni Brené Brown. Ayan. So if you want to check it out, yan Daring Greatly, tungkol yan sa shame sa yung power of vulnerability. Ayan. So kumusta ka naman, Coachin?
Okay naman. Ito, same. Sorry, hindi ako nakasama last week.
Oo nga.
So, hindi maganda yung pakiramdam ko last week.
May ano ka, yan, sige. So, gawin natin is, i-review natin yung 12 shame categories, di ba? So, yung appearance and body image, money and work, motherhood and fatherhood, family and parenting, mental and physical health, addiction, sex, aging, religion, surviving trauma, saka yung being stereotyped or labeled. Pero ano nga ba talaga yung saan nga ba talaga nanggagaling yung majority ng shame ng mga babae? According to research coaching, ano ba yung mga yung mga definition daw ng shame for women?
Ayun. So, based dun sa research actually na yung ilan sa majorly na pinagmumulan ng shame ng mga kababaihan is one is, to look perfect, do perfect, be perfect, diba? Anything less than perfect really triggers shame para mostly sa mga kababaihan. Tapos, pangalawa is being judged by other mothers. Yung mother shaming, very common yan. Pangatlo, being exposed, yung mga flawed na parts ng sarili natin, di ba? Andyan yung medyo stretch marks, cellulites, di ba? Medyo may tinakili-kili ng konti, medyo curvy, medyo maraming mga love handles, di ba? So, isa yan sa mga primarily nagmumula ng shame ng mga kababaihan. So, another is like, no matter what you achieve or how far you've come, where you come from, what you've survived, you always keep me from feeling like I'm good enough. Yun. Tapos panglima, even though everyone knows that there is no way to do it, everyone still expects it.
Oh, pero dapat kasi 'di ba ma-pull off niyo 'yun kasi mga nanay kayo kaya mga women are perceived to be like really strong. 'Di ba? Iba nga sinasabi. Oo nga, 'di ba? Iba nga sinasabi, kaya mo ang mga anak eh. So, kaya mo rin 'yan. Pero kasi saan kaya nanggaling to? Ano pa? Ano pa yung iba?
Ayan, so never enough at home, never enough at work, never enough in bed, never enough with my parents, and shame is never enough. And lastly, no seat at the pool table. You can sit with us. Sabi nga dun sa
Mga mean girls.
The Pretty Girls Are Not.
Ayun. Pero even mean girls, 'di ba? Meron silang ano eh, it's may nagko-cost hindi. Ano underlying, we are under the assumption that these reactions are also triggered by shame, pain, and everything like that. Nawala si Coach Chin sandali. Pero yun, saan nga ba nanggagaling yung shame? So again, when we talk about shame, we're in a shame-driven society, di ba? Minsan yung mga, again, hindi natin to sinasabi na tayo ang nagsimula nito. It did not start with us. Hindi sa atin nagsimula to. Nagsimula to mula sa dating-dati pa. Okay? Sa mga magulang natin, sa mga magulang nila, sa mga magulang nila, hanggang, I don't know kung saan nagsimula, pero matagal na to. Because this gets passed on. And we also live in a shame-driven society. Diba? Minsan lalabas kayo, ano sasabihin natin? Oh, parang nangitim ka. Oh, parang tumaba ka. Oh, parang ang payat mo ngayon. Oh, kumusta ka na? May anak ka na ba? Okay lang ka mag-aasawa. Diba? So, these are all norms na ginagawa natin that we don't really know that trigger shame. Diba? What if you are at the receiving end of it? Anong nangyayari kapag kayo yung nakakatanggap nun? Ano yung nararamdaman nyo? Is there some part of your body that clenches? Yung jaw nyo parang, tinanong na naman niya ako. Marami sa mga kababaihan ngayon, minsan hindi na umaattend ng mga family gatherings. Bakit? Kasi tatanungin na naman ako ni tita kung kailan ako mag-aasawa, tatanungin na naman ako kung kailan ako magbo-boyfriend, or tatanungin na naman ako, bakit sunod-sunod yung anak mo? 'Di ba? So, yun yung mga bagay na pinagmumulan usually ng shame sa atin because we grew up in that culture. The primary trigger for women in terms of power and universality, the first one talaga is how they look. Still being after all the consciousness racing, di ba? Marami na tayong ganyan eh. We have consciousness awareness para sa mga kababaihan madalas, and critical awareness. Women still feel the most shame about not being thin, young, and beautiful enough. And this is because dun nga sa culture na yun. It's, again, we are not responding to this mentally. We're responding to this because our body responds to it. Okay, there's something happening within our body. So yung shame triggers the same alarm system as the fear. So yun din yung nagiging takbuhan natin. Either we fight, flight, or freeze, or fawn. Diba? So the second most triggering shame for women is motherhood. I'm not in the perfect position to talk about mother shame, pero hopefully pag dumating si Coach Chin or si Coach 𝗟𝗏, madiscuss nila to in depth. But ang alam ko lang is we don't need to be a mother to experience mother shame, diba? The society views womanhood and motherhood as inextricably bound. All right. Therefore, our value as women is often determined by our relationship with or their roles as mothers, or potential mothers. So, ano nga yung mga kanina tinatanong ko pa constantly, di ba? Bakit hindi ka pa nag-aasawa? Or kailan ka ba mag-aasawa? Or bakit wala ka pang boyfriend? Or kailan ka magkakaanak? Or bakit sunod-sunod ang anak mo? Di ba? So those trigger shame. Bakit ang haba ng pagitan ng mga anak mo, kawawa naman yung panganay? Or bakit hindi mo pa sinusundan si baby? Di ba? So, bakit nagtatrabaho ka? Paano yung mga bata? Bakit hindi ka nagtatrabaho? Ganyan ba ang gusto mong makita mo ng mga anak mo? Diba? Hindi na natin alam kung saan tayo lalagay sa culture na to. And the real struggle for women what amplifies shame, regardless of the category, is what they're expected sometimes or desired. So, kagaya ng sinabi kanina ni Coach Hina, women or mothers are expected to be perfect. Kahit hindi natin bini-verbalize, kahit sinasabi natin na, oh, you don't need to be perfect, walang taong perfect. Kahit hindi natin bini-verbalize yun, women are still expected to be perfect. Yet they are not allowed to look as if they are working hard for it. We just want to materialize somehow. Everything should look effortless. Kaya nga gustong-gusto natin yung mga friend na, she's a natural, she's effortless. Walang kahirap-hirap para sa kanya. Diba? But deep inside these women, they have to work for it. Of course, they have to work for it. They have to assert for it. Lalo na yung mga women in high society, sa paglagay ninyo, hindi nila pinaghirapan yun. Pinaghirapan nila kung anong meron sila. Kahit nasabi, hindi, pinanganak na mamayaman yan. Pinaghirapan niya pa rin yun. You don't know, a lot of women would always say na, pinaghirapan ko kung anong meron ko. I had to assert myself and I had to break and bend some rules because I'm a woman in a man's industry. So marami yun. Okay? So stay put lang yung mga kalalakihan na nanonood sa atin ngayon, di ba? Kasi mamaya pag-uusapan naman natin ng men in shame. Alright? And how does it affect our relationship? Hello kay 𝗫𝗏𝗏, ayan. Hello kay Coach Shin, John de la Peña, Juancho, and Kuya Russ. Ayan, maraming salamat sa inyo. So, yun. So, we love to hear that. She's a natural. She makes it look so easy, di ba? Yung women's web of shame comes out from these. Who they should be, what we should be, and how they should be. Di ba? Dapat ganito ka, dapat prim and proper ka. Diba? Women are seen to be exerting efforts to be everything to everyone. Everything to everyone. Kung may makikita kayo dyan ng mga punong abala, pag dumating ka sa party, sino mas abala? At then, daming kailangan. You have to tend to your children. You have to be a good wife. You have to be a good girlfriend. You have to be a good daughter. You have to be a good sister. Diba? And then you have to make it effortless. Dapat hindi ka magmukhang pagod. Diba? So, kudos sa mga kababaihan na nagagawa yan. Pero again, this is your time to shine. This is your time to be vulnerable, and this is your time to share your story. So, iniimbitahan namin kayo sa Step Forward Trauma Support Group every Saturday. Every Saturday, that is 10 a.m. Manila time. Hello kay Roan. Hi. So, sabi nila, ano mga kailangan gawin ng babae? Be perfect, but don't make a fuss about it. And don't take time away from anything. Mga actual statements to ng mga tao. Like your family, your friends, your work, to achieve perfection. If you're really good, perfection should be easy. Diba? Ilang mga magulang, ilang mga nanay ang nakakaramdam nito. Okay? Don't upset anyone or hurt someone's feelings, but say what's on your mind. Oh, okay. Sometimes mahirap yon, di ba? Dial the sexuality up pag nandyan yung lalo na kapag dalawa lang kayo. Pero you have to dial it down kapag may mga meetings, di ba? Just be yourself, but not if it means being shy or unsure, di ba? Don't make people uncomfortable, but be honest. And sometimes honesty comes with uncomfortability. Hindi natin pipigilan yan. Don't get too emotional, but don't get too detached either. Too emotional, magiging hysterical ka. And too detached, you are a cold-hearted bitch. But anyway, did I say that? Yes, I did say that. So based on US study on conformity to feminine norms, researchers recently listed the most important attributes associated of being feminine. So this is according to research. Being nice, pursuing a thin body ideal, showing modesty, and by not calling attention to one's talents and abilities, being domestic, naturally caring for children, investing in romantic relationships, keeping sexual intimacy contained within one committed relationship, diba? And using our resources to invest in our appearance. Basically, diba? culturally or collectively, women have to be willing to stay small, sweet, and quiet as possible, and to use their time and talent to look pretty. Gifts, dreams, and ambitions, they are unimportant. So, sabi nila, hindi, iba na yung kababaihan ngayon, marami ng women's side. This is, oo nga, marami na tayong women's awareness, pero this still triggers women in shame. This still triggers shame in women. Diba? Bakit? Kasi kailangan nila magsama-sama eh. So, what do we do? Critical awareness, kagaya nung nakaraan na sinabi natin, we have to be self-aware. We have to be aware of our triggers at saan nanggagaling to. The last thing that we want to do is to trigger more shame in people. But what we want to do is for us to be that person that would say that's okay. This is okay. Being strong is okay. Resting is okay. Spending time for yourself is okay. Self-care is okay. Diba? So, lahat tayo ay ganon. Every successful woman has a story of how they had to struggle and push past the rules so they can assert herself, advocate her ideas, and feel comfortable with her power and gifts. And for those women, naman, hi to Choi, yan, from San Pedro, Laguna. Hi, Choi. So, din yun yung how women experience shame. Pero syempre, research goes as far as how men experience shame as well. So, dati may story si Brené Brown, sabi niya, after daw ng talk niya, ang nangyari is parang may lumapit sa kanya na isang lalaki, nakasama yung asawa niya. So, sabi daw niya, okay, you're staring at me. So, parang nahihiya pa siya. So, lalapitan siya ng lalaki. Sabi niya, okay, so, what can you tell about shame about men? All right? Because we have shame. And sabi niya, wala, kasi hindi pa, nakafocus lang yung research ko sa women. But then again, sabi nung lalaki na yun, he pointed out a very important point, that we have shame too, but we are really, we can't really talk about it because the society does not want us to talk about it. Something to that effect. During the research, men were asked how they define shame, and ito yung mga nakuha nila sa research. If you have an input on how you define shame personally, please comment it. Ayan, share nyo tong live natin para makaraming narating. Right. Shame is failure at work, on the football field, in your marriage, in bed, with money, with children. It doesn't matter. Shame is failure. Failure. Shame is being wrong, not doing wrong, but being wrong. Shame is a sense of being defective. Shame happens when people think you're soft. It's degrading. It's shaming to be seen as anything but tough. Panglima, revealing any weakness is shaming. Shame is weakness. Showing, 6 is showing fear is shameful. You can't show fear. You can't be afraid no matter what. Familiar ba to? Saan to nang gagaling? Di ba? Shame is being seen as the guy you can bully. Number 8, our worst fear is being criticized and ridiculed. Either way of these is extremely shaming. So, saan to nang gagaling? Di ba? Hindi naman eh. Sasabihin natin at first glance, hindi naman. Di ba? Pero nung ginagawa natin, kapag nadadapa yung mga bata, lalo na yung mga lalaki, oh, ano nangyari? Lalampa-lampa ka. Di ba? Tumayo ka dyan. Minsan magagalitan pa natin. Or minsan nakikipag-away yung mga anak natin. Anong sasabihin natin? Nanalo ka ba? Di ba? Pumunta ka doon. Lumabang ka ba? Nanalo ka ba? Ganon. Pero pagdating dun sa mga batang babae, anong sinasabi natin sa mga batang babae? Okay lang yan. Huwag kang lumaban, huwag kang magsalita kasi mahina ka. 'Di ba? Ganun natin pinapalaki yung mga bata, especially yung mga bata nung panahon namin. Okay? So, what is going on? Yung pattern na yon is na-adapt natin hanggang sa lumaki tayo. Alright? So, ganun din yung mga bata. Minsan, nagdo-drawing or sumasayaw yung isang bata. Huwag kang lalambot-lambot sumayaw. Diba? At anong nangyayari sa kanila yun? It triggers shame in them. And what happens? Hindi na nila nahuhon or nade-develop yung talent nila na yun. And there are a lot of artists and potential artists na hindi nabigyan ng chance to develop their talents and their art, and tayo rin hindi natin nagkaroon ng chance na makita yon. Why? Because of that. Because of shame. Na napigilan na sila, 'di ba? Basically, men live under the pressure of the relenting message. You cannot be seen as weak. Don't be a pussy. Right? It's like a box na meron silang do's and don'ts, 'di ba? And whatever it is in there, you cannot be weak. And you can't ask for help. Okay? Ito yung collective na boses ng mga kalalakihan kahit hindi nila sinasabi. 'Di ba? Hold your head up even if you're dying inside. 'Di ba? So hi Coach Yin, welcome back. Ayan. Hindi ako sanay nang mag-live mag-isa, but anyway, I'm just focusing on the dot. Nawala ka na naman. But yan. It's like being trapped inside the box. Meron ka lang daw 3 choices. And this came from a class that Brené Brown held. 'Di ba? It's like being trapped inside the box. May 3 kang choice. First, you spend your life fighting to get out, anger, throwing punches at the side of the box, hoping na it will break apart. 'Di ba? Second is you will always feel angry and you always swing and you just give up and you just don't give shit about it. Bahala na. Dinanag ka ng asawa mo. Oh, saan ka na naman ang galing ngayon? Ano na naman ang ginawa mo? Bakit kulang to? Di ba? Yung mga ganyan. Or yung mga simpleng, oh, ang ganda ng buhay nitong kumari ko na to. Di ba? Ang ganda ng buhay ng kumari ko na to. Merong kurot yun sa puso ng mga kalalakihan. 'Di ba? Meron siyang kurot na gano'n na, okay, kinukumpara ba ako nito sa nabibigay ng asawa niya or yung buhay ba niya is, gusto niya ba ng ganong buhay? Kulang ba yung binibigay ko? Nakikita niyo yung translation. 'Di ba? So magkaiba 'yon. Or third, you stay so high that you don't really notice how unbearable it is. That's the easiest way. 'Di ba? Tatayo ka lang doon. This starts during childhood. 'Di ba, Coach Yin? Paano nangyayari 'yon?
So, like, tulad nga ng example mo kanina, di ba, na kapag yung mga batang lalaki, when they do things that is perceived as malambot, like, gumagawa ng art, gusto nilang maglaro ng bahay-bahayan, maglalaro ng dolls, di ba, laging sinasabi na hindi pwede kasi baka mamaya mangyayari, pag lumaki, lalaking babakla-bakla yan, ganyan, lalaking malambot yan, di ba? Well, in fact, merong ibang mga child psychologists who actually, and therapists who actually encourages boys or yung mga batang lalaki to actually play with dolls. Kasi somehow, it teaches them, yes, baby. It teaches them, it teaches them yung compassion, diba? Yung, yes, yung ability to actually care for something that is much smaller than them, diba? Kung saan very very important yun, especially pag lumaki sila. Kasi pag tumanda sila, kung mapapansin niyo, there are some fathers, 'di ba? Na okay naman sila, they're a great provider, pero when it comes to their kids, merong iba na parang medyo mahirap sa kanila. Okay. Hindi naman not necessarily mahirap sa kanila, but it's quite medyo challenging para sa kanila when it comes sa pag-aalaga sa mga anak nila. Kasi yun nga, somehow dun nagsisimulang ma-develop yun eh, 'di ba? Kaya kung mapapansin niyo, yung mga lalaki who has younger siblings, ayan. So doon din nagsisimulang ma-develop eh. Kung mapapansin niyo, mas magaling sila when it comes sa pag-aalaga ng mga bata, lalo na kapag meron silang kapatid na mas nakababata. Kasi na-develop yun eh. Yung ability na yun, yung compassion, di ba? Yung caring sa somebody who is much smaller than them. Diba? Tapos yun nga. Tapos kapag nakita nila naglalaro ng dance or anything na malambot, hindi dapat ganyan. Dapat ito ang laruin mo. Bibigyan ng bare. Bibigyan ng kutsilyo. Tapos pag magiging violent, hindi may iwasan. Yung iba nagiging violent at pag katagalan, diba? So, just because na doon sa naging culture natin na kapag gano'n yung klase ng play, baka ganito ang mangyayari. So, hindi natin alam. Diba? Ayun. So, yun lang.
Thank you. Yan, maganda yan. Magandang point yan that we have to teach children to be compassionate. So, tayo rin ang nagtuturo ng mga the way that we hone and we raise children, tumatatak sa kanila yun, lalo na kapag nangyayari on their developmental stages. 'Di ba? So meron parang isang football player, parang hindi pala football player. Ano siya? Para siyang nasa football league nung mga bata pa sila. So ang nangyayari is na-tackle down siya. So sinigawan daw siya ng coach niya na parang, lalampalampa ka, don't be a pussy. And mula nun, sabi niya, shame sunk in and all I had was rage. So ang ginawa niya sinugod niya lahat. Nung sinugod niyang lahat, yung mga tao na yun, sabi niya, I just ran them over. And now, kahit ngayon wala ako sa football field, I just ran everybody over. My wife, my subordinates, my colleagues. If I feel shame, kailangan protektahan ko yung sarili ko. I'll just run them over. Because it always works. And ganoon din tayo. 'Di ba? Ganoon din tayo, nagagalit na lang tayo sa lahat. Sabi ni Raphael, stereotyping. There are borderlines for things that are only for girls and only for boys. Luckily at the present, people breaks that borders. That's good. Maraming mga tao talaga that breaks these norms. And kudos sa lahat ng mga taong yan. All right. Mothers, wives, sisters, girlfriends always tell the men in their lives, it's okay to be vulnerable. Diba? And we always fall for that sometimes. And it's okay to be vulnerable. Mag-open ka lang sa akin. Diba? Sabihin mo lang, pour your hearts out. And there are some women that are really, really good dito. Na makikinig lang sila. That they will be that person who will listen to dun sa partner nila. Diba? There are some women. But majority of the women, ganito. Okay, sa ating dalawa lang to, walang makakaalam nito. Or nobody has to know. Tayo lang. Diba? Parang okay, ako yung nagsasara ng kortina, sabihin mo sa akin yung shame mo, pero huwag mong sabihin sa buong mundo. Diba? Walang dapat makakita. And that itself invites shame na shameful pala talaga yun eh. 'Di ba? And courage, 'di ba? For wholehearted for us to be wholehearted, we need courage. And courage, 'di ba? We have to show up and let ourselves be seen. Magpahinga ka, umiyak ka, humingi ka ng tulong, and that's okay. That's why I really appreciate those clients who are my men clients, diba? Meron ako mga clients na men that they can really show vulnerability and make me feel trusted and honored for me to see who they really are. Kasi bihira yon, diba? And then after that, they tell their wives and they tell their mothers and they tell their coworkers and colleagues that they're hurt, na gusto ko magpahinga. Ako naman, 'di ba? Kudos to you guys. There's a consistent pattern that emerged in research in men. 'Di ba? Sabi nila, women ask them to be vulnerable and beg them to let them in, and then they plead men to tell them what are they afraid of. But this is the truth. Most women can't stand it. 'Di ba? Yung mukha natin, yung mukha nila nagsasabing, don't cry in front of me and man up. Man up. Okay? So they respond in two ways. They respond either pissed off or they just shut down. At anong nagagawa nito sa relationship coaching? So napag-aralan natin yung men and women in shame. So anong nagagawa nito basically sa isang relationship?
Ano ulit yung question? Sorry.
Diba napag-aralan na natin yung men and women in shame, how men and women experience shame differently. Ano naman yung effect nito sa relationship nila?
Well, for one thing is nagkakaroon ng malaking gap when it comes to communication. Diba? Kasi it's either yung isa is very vocal with his or her emotions and the other one naman is ayaw pag-usapan kasi yun na yung panakalakihan that emotions are scary, emotions are dangerous, diba? Na kapag mayroon nga akong nakitang isang article the other day na talking about your relationship issues makes it worse. Yun yung sabi dun sa article. And I tried to read it actually. Although meron naman siyang mga pointers na it's not really dapat the relationship issues na pinag-uusapan but rather yung root cause, where is it coming from? Kasi for sure, it's been triggered by something that it's been there na hindi napapansin. So that's one thing, yun na nagkakaroon talaga ng malaking gap when it comes to communication. And kapag meron talagang problem when it comes sa pag-communicate, especially when it comes sa partners, talagang malaking bagay talaga yun. So it's not just open communication. Hindi lang siya. Kasi di ba, minsan pag tinatanong na, ano bang, like, paano ba kayo as partners or as husband and wife, as girlfriend and boyfriend, paano ba, ganyan. Kailangan lang may open communication. How exactly is that open communication? Kasi, ano din yun meron din, ang definition niya ba ng open communication, ako lang yung nagsasalita, yung isa hindi. Ganon. Kami meron kaming mga checklist kung paano ba talaga to recreate a conflict-free conversation. Diba? Kung ma-share ko lang, number 1, lagi-lagi, unang-una, the primary goal is always to understand one another. Yun ang kauna-unahang goal dapat ng conversation nyo. Hindi yung makikipag-usap ka just to prove that I'm right and you're wrong. Okay?
To listen to respond. To listen to understand.
Please don't do that. Diba? Kasi for sure, pareho kayo meron kayong parehong point, di ba? You just, kailangan ng maging primary goal always is to understand one another, not to prove the other person is right and the other person is wrong. So, kumbaga, you're gonna meet halfway. So, hindi man kayo, at the end, you may agree to disagree, but still, naiintindihan nyo where the other person is coming from. Diba? So, it's just one tip lang.
Ayun nga, kasi most of us, di ba most of us, hindi na natin naririnig yung other party. Why? Una, nagsha-shutdown na tayo. Pangalawa is, we are formulating already a response in our head. Di ba? Paano ako ba sasagutin to? Ano ba sasabihin ko? Ganyan. In turn, hindi natin ngayon naririnig yung kabilang party kasi nag-iisip na tayo ng respond natin eh. 'Di ba? So again, maganda yung tip ni Coach Sheena, we should always listen to understand and not to respond. Ayan. So meron tayong live yan yata eh, 'di ba, nung nakaraan. Parang conflict-free communication. So yun. Maganda ulitin natin yan. Or you can watch our YouTube channel at 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗲. Ayan. Sabi ni RG, sadly, when you're forced to be vulnerable, you either walk away or build a wall. That's true. And that facade to make you look strong. You don't have to. Yeah. People are strong. You don't have to look strong. People are really strong. And yung mga iba na sinasabi, no, I'm weak. No, hindi ko kaya yan. Diba? A part of you that's strong needs tapping. Diba? Lahat tayo ng tao, we are strong and we're capable. And you don't know what you are capable of until you're there. Na kailangan nyo na siyang gamitin. But the truth is, Coach Sheen, ano daw, I'm only as hard on others as I am on myself. Diba? So what do we do? Yeah. We normally shame people verbally or sa isip natin na we see as inferior to us. Pero normally, sinishame natin sila sa mga part na ayaw natin sa atin. Di ba? Parang, ganun, halimbawa, mas successful, ano ba yan? Ba't ganyan ang buhay niya? Mas successful ako sa kanya. Di ba? So, ano pang nangyayari? There's no shame in admitting your vulnerability, sabi ni Roan, because it takes a lot of courage to express it. Saying weak and hindi mo kaya yan requires strength. Kaya agree, Coach Foy, people are strong. Yes, that's true. People are naturally strong. Pero yun nga, we shame people in infinite ways possible. 'Di ba? Halimbawa sa mga kababaihan, pag nakikita kayo, 'di ba? Ba't ganyan yung suot niya? Di ba? Kasi dun lang natin sila kayang tirahin eh. Di ba? Sa katawan. Di ba? And normally, yun din yung tinitingnan natin sa atin. So if people are inferior than us, kung mas mataba sa atin, mas mataba sa atin, mas maitim sa atin, mas hindi marunong sa atin, di ba? Doon natin sila tinitira because it's not really about them sometimes even. It's about us. Diba? Yeah. Na okay, let me have this good of like feel good things. Diba? Kaya ganun. Lalo na yung mga nanay. Pag nakita nila yung mga anak nila, sabihin nila, bakit ganyan ang damit mo? Palagi na ganyan. Bakit ganyan ang ayos mo? Nakakahiya. Bakit ganyan ka kumilos? Nakakahiya. Diba? But then again, pag tinanong mo naman yung mga nanay, anong sasabihin nila? Kasi gusto ko lang na maprotektahan sila from other people. So people have good intentions most of the time, especially the parents. Diba? Pero ayaw nila. Lalo sa mga batang lalaki. Diba? Man up. Nakakahiya. Diba? It's not even about the person and what it's doing, but it's about yourself. Diba? So dun tayo lumaki, yun yung society na bumabalot sa atin. And I thank those people and those parents na talaga namang it's okay for their children to be vulnerable. It's okay for their children to be themselves when around them. Diba? Tandaan ninyo, what cannot be communicated to the mother cannot be communicated to the self. And anong ibig sabihin nun? Kung hindi natin nasasabi sa magulang natin, hindi rin natin yun nakikita sa atin. Okay? So, tandaan natin yun palagi. And what happens when we're shame-driven pagdating sa relationship? You cannot be yourself. Diba? And you're always gonna be sacrificing your authenticity for connection. Yeah. So, anong nangyayari kapag ganon? We burn out. And we get tired. Because hiding inside that box, nakita niyo yung box kanina, ay yung naalala niyo yung box kanina, hiding inside that box of shame, so people can't see you. So that it requires you to be small and meek and silent just to maintain that connection. At minsan, we explode. Laging defensive, sabi ni Maya. We explode. Diba? And when we explode, the relationship grows apart. And pag hindi natin pinapakita sa partner natin yung vulnerability natin, we explore ways on how to do it. We explore ways on how to feel special. Diba? I didn't even go to the topic of men, women, shame, and sex. Diba? Karamihan, sabi ng mga babae, nahihiya ako sa katawan ko, 'di ba? Pero there's this big debate nung sa isang symposium yata or class ni Brené Brown na it's not about, sabi nung isang girl, sabi niya ganun, all men do is to look at our back fat. Tapos may tumayong lalaki, sabi niya ngayon, it's not about the back fat. Stop telling that. We don't care about that. We don't care about that. We care about being loved. Ang feeling namin, we wanna feel special, loved, no matter what. Pero yung karamihan sa mga babae, yun ang talagang iniisip nila. Why? Because that's the norm. Dapat sexy ka, maganda ka. Di ba? Pero sabi ng babae, habang umiiyak siya, sabi niya, kasi yung last boyfriend ko palaging sinishame yung katawan ko. Ngayon, sabi ng lalaki, so what? He's an asshole, 'di ba? Men, hindi ibig sabihin lalaki siya kaya siya ganun. Hindi siya ibig sabihin lalaki siya kaya ganun. Some of us are just men. Leave us alone. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Not collective, yeah? Go Coachin.
Yeah, that's right. Diba? Meron naman talaga na mga lalaki who really doesn't look at it that way. So, ganun din naman sa mga babae, di ba? Nauso, hindi mo siya nauso, but mas na-appreciate na nga nila ngayon yung mga tinatawag nilang dad bod compared sa mga talagang six-packs na mga abs. So, it's really how the other person perceives you, diba? For somebody who loves you and accepts you for who you really are, diba? It really doesn't matter. Para sa kanya, you are the most beautiful, or you are the most handsome person in the whole wide world, diba? And ayun, so find that person. May ganun no?
Diba? There's always somebody there that can accept you for who you are and would not require you to not be yourself. Diba?
Yes.
Ang tunay na pagmamahal would always, I think, encourage the other person to grow and embrace the pain that comes with that growth. Diba?
Yeah.
Na kasama kayong mag-grow. So a couple that does not grow together, they would grow apart. Pero growth kasi, it requires pain. It requires vulnerability. It requires courage. It requires getting past your fears. Diba? So what we need to do is to constantly communicate openly. And if your partner, dahil Valentine's special kayo, if your partner is the only person that you can talk with, and alam niyo that you're the only person that your partner can be vulnerable with, open that space and hold up that space for your partner. Because again, it takes just one human being to make the difference. Diba? And, Coach, sino sabihin ka?
So, yun nga, yung sinasabi rin ni Coach Koy kanina, na yun nga, when you are in a relationship, di ba? Wag naman din tayo yung nagiging kauna-unahang primary source ng shame ng mga partners natin. Or anything that na pwedeng mag-cause ng shame on them. Di ba? Like, halimbawa, if your partner is trying to get fit for healthy, because of health reasons, di ba? Na, i-discourage mo pa siya in a way na wag ka nang minsan may mga may mga hirit pa na subconsciously may hidden agenda. Nasasabihin, hindi, sige, okay lang, hindi mo naman kailangang magpapayat, hindi mo naman kailangang mag-exercise, hindi mo naman kailangang mag-diet, tanggap naman kita kahit makaba ka, di ba, ganyan. Pero deep inside pala, gusto ko na stay ka lang ganyan para wala nang ibang magkakagusto sa'yo. Na-experience ko yan. Diba? Diba parang, bakit gano'n? Like, why would you do that to the other person? Diba? As much as possible. Kasi, parang din sa mga bata, diba? Kapag merong isang tao, like, halimbawa, yung parents natin or yung primary caregiver natin, sila yung pinaka-pinagkakatiwalaan ng mga bata. So anything na sabihin, comment man yan, joke man yan, sa mga bata, pag nanggaling sa mga magulang, 100% pinagpapaniwalaan yan. Like, for example, kahit bibiruin mo lang, or siguro expression mo, ang tanga-tanga mo naman, di ba? Ang tamad-tamad mo, di ba? Ang tigas-tigas ng ulo mo, di ba? The more na naririnig nila yan, na paulit-ulit, nabibuild up yun at eventually papaniwalaan nila yun, siguro tanga talaga ako. Siguro talaga tamad talaga ako. Siguro talaga bobo talaga ako. Siguro talaga pangit talaga ako. Diba? Kasi pinagkakatiwalaan nila tayo. Diba? Ganun din. Lalo na kapag we're in a relationship. Diba? Anything na sabihin din ng partner natin, madali para sa atin na napaniwalaan yun. Diba? So, meron nga akong din na napanood that they were asked, like, papaano iiwas yung mga kabataan, especially yung mga batang babae, sa mga predators ng mga kalalakihan, diba? Somehow meron pa rin talaga diba? And one thing is that kailangan yung mga batang yan will have a very strong sense of self, yung self-image nila. Tell them that you love them. Diba? Tell them they're beautiful. Tell them that they are amazing, they are awesome, they are pogi, diba? And pretty much everything that is positive. Kasi kung hindi natin sasabihin sa kanila na mahal natin sila, na hindi natin sasabihin sa kanila that they're beautiful, that they're handsome, they're awesome, diba? They're good. The moment na merong ibang tao who would tell them those things, papaniwalaan nila yun. Diba? And kung yung tao na yun who is in best intention sa kanila, then that's good. Paano kung hindi? Na they're just using those phrases and words just to manipulate the person, the other person. Diba? So, yun lang.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And yun, so that's how we wanna be. So this is gonna be one of the things that we're advocating with. Show up, let yourselves be seen, sabi nga ni 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵. Dare greatly. Ayan. For those people who wants to learn more about shame resilience, please join us every Saturday. That is 10 a.m. Manila time. Shout out sa mga members namin na nanonood ngayon. Hello, hello. Pakishare to. Ayan. So, samahan nyo kami. It's totally free for everybody. That Step Forward Trauma Support Group. We have a meeting every Saturday. That's your safe space. Confidential. Lahat ng attendees doon and everything that we talk about in the meeting stays within the meeting. Sometimes there are seminars as well and talks doon din sa oras na yon. So please, free naman to for everybody. You don't need to pay. That's group therapy, group support session for everyone. So dahil Valentine's Day ngayon, gusto ko lang i-share yung quote about love. So si Brené Brown ay, teka lang, may tanong. Sabi ni RG, it takes more courage to accept you're weak and vulnerable than pretend to be strong. That's right. Hi Coach, ano po sa tingin nyo doon sa naging trend na nagpo-post ng problems nila sa partner nila pero never talk to them? Dami ko kasi napapansin ganun sa mga FB groups. Is it helpful? Well, voicing out your concerns and venting out your concerns to strangers might be helpful for some people. But there are really other people na hindi natutulungan ito. Kasi ganito di ba? Lalo na pag sa social media, ang daming comments. So yung comments na yon is, kagaya sa aming coaching kanina, it's either paniwalaan mo or hindi. And those comments may help or may not. Di ba? So ang gusto ko lang ipayo para sa mga tao that wants to vent in social media, ako personally, hindi ko ginagawa yan. Why? Because the person who needs to know my concerns and my hurts and my pains is the person who earned the right to say it. So halimbawa, sa partner ko ako merong hinanakit. Hindi ko sasabihin to sa ibang tao. Why? It's not because I'm ashamed na may hinanakit ako dun sa partner ko. But they don't need to know. Di ba? My partner needs to know. My partner deserves to know na you deserve to know na masama ang loob ko sa'yo. So we can do something about this. Yeah. Kasi wala namang ibang mag-resolve niyan para sa atin eh. But for those people who air out their feelings in Facebook, if that helps you, I have nothing against it. Diba? I have nothing against that. Pero yun nga, the main concern is your partner needs to know. And give them that right to know. Kasi minsan, hindi natin sinasabi sa partner natin and then we expect na masolusyonan nila. Di ba? Parang, masama ang loob ko pero dapat mapansin. Bakit hindi mo, di ba meron tayong ganun eh, Coach Shin? Alam mo yun, parang, hindi mo man lang napansin na may nangyayari ng hindi maganda. Di ba? Hindi mo naman sinabi. Kasi we all pretended that everything is okay. Di ba? Go, Coach Shin. Meron siya rebuttal.
Yun nga, assumption is a killer of human connection. Sabi nga namin. Like, we always assume na okay lang. We always assume na baka magalit, di ba? Pero paano kung hindi? Di ba? We always think the worst of other person, of the other person, di ba? Ay, hindi ko na lang sasabihin kasi baka magalit. Di ba? Hindi ko na lang sasabihin baka kung anong isipin niya. Yun, another shame na naman yun eh. Di ba? Pero what if hindi naman? Di ba? Like, siguro, like, just try and tell them really how you really feel. Di ba? Kasi paano kung okay lang? Diba? You just assume na hindi okay. Pero paano kung okay lang? Diba? Iba pa rin eh. Iba pa rin kasi that you are able to communicate what you're feeling, diba? With the other person, especially when you're in a relationship, without the feeling that you're being judged, diba? So, yun lang.
Thank you for that. And sana nasagot namin yung tanong mo, Maya. All right. So it really depends on the person. Pero yun nga, alaminin na natin na may mga comments talaga na nakakatulong at hindi. And there are also comments that triggers more shame. Kaya nga, di ba? Piss off or let go. Ayan. So dahil Valentine's Day ngayon, gusto kong basahin yung how Brené Brown defined shame. Defined love. Ayan. Dahil para dun sa ating mga partners, di ba? Be open, be vulnerable because love requires vulnerability. Tandaan natin yan. From the gift of imperfection, ito yung na-develop niyang definition ng love. Remember, we can't really define love. Ito yung definition ng love based on the data that they've collected. We cultivate love when we allow our most vulnerable and powerful selves to be deeply seen and known. And when we honor the spiritual connection that grows from that offering with trust, respect, kindness, and affection. Love, I like this part. Love is not something we give or get. It is something that we nurture and grow. A connection that can only be cultivated between two people when it exists within each one of them. We can only love others as much as we love ourselves. It's not something that we give. Gusto ko yun. And it's not something that we get. It's something that we nurture and grow. How deep is that? Diba? How deep is that? And shame, blame, disrespect, betrayal, and the withholding of affection damage the roots from which love grows. Love can only survive when these injuries are acknowledged, healed, and rare. Okay? So if we're able to heal blame, shame, disrespect, betrayal, we're able to nurture love. So, yun lang from one of our favorite authors and shame researcher, Brené Brown. Ayan, ang may iwan namin sa inyo. I would also want to invite everyone sa Sabado, sa Kumu. Follow nyo yung si 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 sa Kumu. Pakitype 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 sa Kumu because they will guest us, kami ni Coach Sheen, LDR Diaries. Ayan. It's our post-Valentine's special that is live in Kumu. You can also follow us in Kumu, Coach 𝗂𝗄𝗏 and Coach Sheen. Ayan.
That's on
So,
Saturday, 10:30.
Saturday yon ng 10:30 p.m. Manila time para sa mga hindi makatulog. Watch nyo lang kami sa Kumu. Tambay tayo doon at mag-uusap-usap tayo. And please follow me on YouTube. Meron akong YouTube page, 𝗂𝗄𝗏. Follow me on 𝗂𝗄𝗏 Conduit of Change. If you haven't liked it yet, iniimbitahan ko kayo. Follow U-Drive, group of coaches, and attend our Saturday meeting, Step Forward Trauma Support Group. So again, next week, ang pag-uusapan na naman natin ay fear. Ayan, magandang topic yan. Fear, anong kinatatakot mo? Tama ba? Yan. Tapos na tayo sa anger, tapos na tayo sa shame. Sama-sama to, we're gonna talk about fear. Ayan yung mga usaping ayaw nating pag-usapan. So we will see you again next week, guys, and have a good one.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day.